You're never gonna be the one rock star. it for, but at least you had fun. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be, a king or a queen, as long as you got a dream. Oh no, it's a lie. They just wanna take your life, try to tell you it's a battlefield. People tell you you can be anything you wanna be. Wanna go to outer space, superhero in the streets. My damn, what a lie. What a time to be alive. How have I survived? That's the battlefield. 1974.
One day I feel alright. The next I'm looking for the light, for the light, for the light. I don't wanna wait for everything to change. Then it'll be too late to relive yesterday. I have to live right now. Looking for the light. Looking for the light. I see what I need. If the world was ending today and you knew how to escape, would you bring me to your starship? Would you find a way to live? If I came knocking at your door in the last day on the earth, would you give or try to fix this, or would you just let me go? I know we can overcome it. Side by side we shine like diamonds. Your stars and moons.
So much beauty in this music. Oh, it's time to start. Let's do this.
Distance nerding.
What up, everybody? Hold on. I have to make sure. Be muted or unmuted.
Unmuted.
You guys are good now.
You can mute me, but you can never shut me up.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the build. He's Raider Ray.
He's Young Phil.
And
He Squints.
Jeez, what, Jackie?
Yay!
And we're here to nerd
together.
Yeah, we nailed that. That was terrible.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Is gonna be all time on the highlights. That's what you're gonna when you advertise this podcast. That's what you're gonna use.
I'm gonna use that one every time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Aaron's like, full house here, so he's gonna like time out because he's like, oh, 4 guys and a guest. This is gonna be so bad.
I've seen that movie before. It's not.
So bad. Guys, welcome to Distance Nerding. Welcome to The Build. We are here to nerd together, in fact. And that all being said, I think I'm going to jump right off the bat here. And
Whoa.
yeah. And just go with one of these.
But first,
Let me get a shout out. Now, guys, shout out wise here, of course, we got to throw out the sponsors. This stream is powered by Poddex. Poddex right above Jackie's head, right there on the top side. That side right there. All right, you saw my hand, right? Poddex are a unique interview question and episode starting prompt in the palm of your hand. So whether you are a new podcaster or an existing broadcaster looking to grow your audience or get more engagement, you're going to want to check out poddex.com. Guys, use the code nerding10 and you get 10% off anything you purchase on Poddex. We are probably going to end up using Poddex tonight because it's fun, and because why the hell not? Just so you guys see it right here, Poddex. I use the app. Basically,
I need to download that.
I know, right? You choose which category you want. So I'm going to choose WTF right there. First question that pops up: what type of contest do you think would be fun to judge?
Oh, that's a question?
Yeah, that's a question on Poddex. So, like, judgy is what it's saying.
And not make friends, worst dressed.
That would be a fun one?
Yeah. I
As
guess.
long as not worried about making friends, the worst dressed. Or probably keeping friends, actually.
He's saying the worst contest, or the type of contest that would be fun to judge, is the worst dressed. Anyways, going on from there.
She said, and
like,
stared blankly.
Yes.
We're just coming out of COVIDia.
Yeah,
okay?
I know, right? We had
I actually went back to work today.
Yeah, I know. I go back to work tomorrow. So, guys, we wonder if the stream is powered by Poddex, then what is Young Phil powered by?
Indeed.
Right? Well, Young Phil is powered by W. W is an emerging brand of energy drinks created to help focus, concentration, reaction time with no jitters or crash. W contains no maltodextrins, no sugar, no fillers, no artificial colors, no dyes, anything like that. Guys, find out more about W at www.w.gg and use the code NERDING10 to get 10% off your order. Guys, W is amazing. I drink it at this point all the time, and pretty much really on the streams. They have 4 delicious flavors. Dub Sludge, which is the one I was just holding up right there. They have Galaxy Grenade. Actually, I should explain that. So Dub Sludge is a Granny Smith green apple and secret sauce. Pretty sure it's cherry. The next one is Galaxy Grenade, which is watermelon, guava, and lime, which is actually really delicious. I have described it in the past as Skittles having sex in my mouth, and that's pretty much that type of orgasm. So my 2 favorite flavors
Sounds like
at this
an article I read in the Chronicle this weekend.
Oh man, we might want to talk about that at some point. The other 2 flavors, my favorite ones are Dragonade, which is a dragon fruit pink lemonade, and the new one, Beach and Peach, which is a mango white peach cooler. It is delicious.
I want to try that one for sure.
Oh, it's so good, man. I tried that on last week's show. It was so good. So, Nerding 10, guys, will get you 10% off if you go to w.gg. Now, before I hope at one point
I knocked you off. Sorry, that was my bad.
Oh no, that's gonna happen, Cam. Somebody's gonna say Jackie, and both of them are gonna respond. It's gonna be hilarious.
So I am La Jackie.
She's La Jackie.
So refer to me as such.
There you go.
Órale, la Jackie.
Órale, La Jackie. Because she is one of us.
One of us. One of us.
Google gobble, Google gobble. So without further ado, it's time to bring on our guest. And I am very excited just because I interviewed her in person. She was not only super bubbly and a great personality to talk to, but on top of that, just she's just a fun person overall. I've kind of like I've what's the best word? I have not rated her streams, but I've like hung out in some of her streams and been an obnoxious dick like I am in real life. So it's been pretty fun.
Nice to meet you. How you doing?
But I'm gonna bring this on. I mean, guys, there is no other better way to put to describe her as being that she is a voiceover Colossus, and this is how I described her at the show. I'm going to continue to describe her as a voiceover Colossus. Hunter x Hunter, Demon Slayer, Pokemon Masters, Genshin Impact, which is one of her bigger ones. I just started watching the Rise of the Sword Shield or the Rise of the Shield Hero, and she's got a pretty major character on that too. So I mean, like it's pretty awesome, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, or your fins or flippers or paws.
Jackie will love Jackie.
Okay. For Jackie Lastra.
Hello. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. I'm so happy to be here.
Awesome. No, I'm super happy. I'm super excited. Like I mentioned before, we had a blast when we met you at Gem State over in Boise.
It was hard to like stay on track. We kept like going down random tangents.
And you're gonna fit into this show so well then.
Yeah,
fit in so
tangents.
Well.
We don't do those at all.
Tangent? Who does tangents?
I don't even know what a tangent is.
Yeah, that's like
I like tangerines.
More like cosine.
There you go.
I go more on cosines than tangents.
So while we're doing this, guys, I'm going to switch cameras over here and we'll get this conversation started.
Yay!
So right here, guys.
I like how you're Jackie and I'm Jackie La.
There we go.
Yeah.
So like Ray.
I do have a question. Can I ask my question?
Go for it, please.
Okay. My first question is I wanted to know, are you still in the closet?
Am I still in the closet? For some projects, yes. Yes, I am still in the project.
You know what was funny is when she told me she wanted to ask you that, I was like, I don't know if she's going to get that one right off the bat. You did. So prove me wrong.
So
I'm the idiot.
So that everybody knows what I'm
I co-signed.
What we're talking about is during the pandemic, it sounds like Jackie had created a studio in her closet. So I was trying to be funny. I guess it
was funny.
It was good.
Very clever. Thank you.
Oh wait,
no, it's great to be back in studios now, especially since it's summer and closets don't get a lot of airflow.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
And moths, so there's that too.
We don't have a lot of bugs in California. I never have to worry about them. So I don't think I've ever seen a moth.
See, maybe that's a Southern California thing, because in Northern California I see a lot of moths.
Yeah, we get some. We live kind of like out like in a place that floods, and we have a lot of bugs out here, and so we have to put we haven't had any like of our clothes eaten, but I am like paranoid about it, so I put up like these moth like sticky things in our closet, and it's caught like 3 of them in the year that they've been up there. So
geez.
Yeah,
we had a huge problem. I grew up in Florida and Georgia, and we had a huge moth problem over there. Your clothes would definitely get eaten.
See, I'm from San Francisco originally. We dealt with moths a lot, but when I was in North Carolina, yeah, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of moths.
It's that humidity.
Everything. It was the humidity. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
A lot of everything. There's a lot of bugs you don't want to deal with in the South.
Yeah,
a lot of things fly there. They don't fly there.
Mm-hmm.
See, the Black Widows are like
Black Widows.
Yeah, I'm not as afraid of Black Widows, and I'm afraid of Black Widows, but I'm not as afraid of Black Widows as I am of brown recluses.
Aren't those the ones that jump?
Those are out here too, though.
I don't see recluses out here like in the Carolinas.
Oh, they were a lot in the South. You're right.
Yeah.
Are those the ones that jump?
No. Brown recluses, like if they bite you, you basically have to amputate your arm.
Oh, that's
their
nice.
venom.
It's nasty.
Yeah, their venom is like that potent.
Have you heard of wolf spiders?
Yes, I used to see those in the South all the time too.
Yeah, those are my new nightmare.
Yeah, those are the ones that jump.
Yes. And they will hunt you down if they get your scent. I'm not even kidding. If you go through one of their webs and they like get your scent, they will hunt you down. They can hibernate and come back to life.
Yeah.
Oh no.
They're horrifying.
So those are the ones that you burn the whole house down.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
You know what's funny is the ones that look the scariest tend to be the ones that are like the ones that don't
Tastiest?
bother you as much. The tastiest,
Those are just crickets. Right?
Well, no, like garden spiders. Like garden spiders are like giant and scary looking. They're harmless.
Or like daddy long legs. Those are the sweetest things ever, but they can look good, kind of creepy.
Daddy long legs, actually, fun fact, have the most venomous venom of any spider.
But
You
they
read
can't
that
bite
Yeah,
you.
they're just really
Or something.
tiny.
No, but what it is their jaws are too small to bite humans.
Oh.
Yep.
I like to catch spiders and then release them.
She's a catch and release kind of girl.
I catch them in water bottles and then I go take them across the street. Except one time I did have to catch one in a bourbon glass because it was way too big.
Did he get
Way
drunk?
too big. No, he was big though. Like it's the biggest like spider I've seen.
He's a big boy.
He in like my actual real life.
You've unknowingly started a clan of spiders that likes to get drunk on weekends. Like Jackie, well done.
I was luckily sitting on the couch enjoying a nice little nip of bourbon when he emerged from underneath the TV, and I like yelled for Philippe, mainly because I just wanted Philippe to see him. And then I finished my bourbon and I stuck the glass over
You
him.
finished the bourbon. That's my favorite part of this whole story. You're like, wait. I gotta finish
I'm not wasting
first.
this.
Not wasting the bourbon. All right.
And then
Well
I
done.
threw the glass over him, so he got a nice little whiff. And then I put a plate underneath him, and I walked him like down the street and let him in the neighbor's yard.
I applaud your bravery. I could not do that.
Wait, so did
100%.
Tyler find him?
No, not that neighbor's yard. It was like the corner neighbor's
Across
yard.
the street.
It was like down. It was like way down the street.
I'm not sure if I respect more the fact that you're the spider hunter and releaser, or that you finished your bourbon first and then decided you were going to go. Either one.
I
It's
think
fine.
I go with the
fine.
latter.
Absolutely. I'm on bourbon.
I have held a tarantula before, and it was terrifying.
I was
And
gonna say,
I
that's
hated every second of it, but I
Yeah,
did it.
I don't know if I could do that.
I almost accidentally picked the tarantula up, and that was terrifying.
How do you accidentally pick up a
So,
tarantula?
so there's
You
a story.
live in Calabasas or
No,
what?
no. When I was younger, a buddy of mine, he had a little brother, and he had toys that he had like scorpion toys, so they're like little rubber ones. So scorpions and tarantulas. So in the backyard, I thought, oh, he left one of his toys. So I went to go pick it up, and I reached for it, and I went, wait a minute, and I stepped back, and I kicked it, and it crawled. I said, okay, glad I didn't grab that. My spider sense must have been tingling because I last second I decided not to pick it up.
That was like a 100%. And fuck that.
Yeah.
True.
So meanwhile, while we're all nerding out on spiders, I kind of makes me wonder, like, what are some things, Jackie, that you nerd out on?
Oh gosh, what don't I? I have a problem. I have way too many fandoms that I'm into. But
Just talk about your
We will
main
be
one.
your supplier.
We're gonna talk about
Samuel
your
Cushet.
main one, about the one drug that has to do with Sailor Tum type thing.
Yes, Sailor Moon is my drug of choice, and I am so excited for the new movie to come out. They just announced that it was going to be in theaters, and I cannot wait. Sailor Moon is lifelong drug of choice. It's why I got into anime. It's why, I love
How
it.
did you get introduced to Sailor Moon?
Just watching it on TV. It was airing when I was like 5 to, I don't know, up until at least middle school, it was still airing. So like I just watched it like every day on Toonami at like 4:00. Had to get home and watch it, and I've just been a lifelong fan since.
You watched that on Toonami. I watched DBZ.
I didn't like DBZ. There was a lot of screaming.
There is a lot of screaming in DBZ. and it's just
Yes.
because you have like 5 episode arcs of just of Goku just charging up.
I don't like yelling. It's very aggressive, and no. And there was this huge rivalry in my school. Like you either watched Sailor Moon or DBZ. You did not watch both.
So what were some of the things so it sounds like if you don't like if yelling wasn't your thing, then that wasn't on Sailor Moon, but like what do you think drew you to Sailor Moon?
Other than the pretty outfits and transformation sequences, I love their relationship, and I loved how Sailor Moon was such a mess up, but she still like was able to get through just because she like cared so much. And like her main power, like everybody else had these cool elemental power, and hers was just love. And that was just so sweet. And no, I loved it. But
She had
of
a
course,
pretty badass
glittery
cat.
costumes. Huh?
And she had a pretty badass cat too.
She did have a pretty awesome cat, yeah.
What was the cat's name?
Luna?
Luna.
That checks out.
Makes
What?
sense.
I said that checks out. Sailor Moon, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. There's a lot of like Greek mythology and just all arcing mythology hidden like within Sailor Moon. So there's like all sorts of name references. To, like,
I remember watching it when I was
Celestial.
younger, but I
Mhm.
just hadn't never got into it. But I remember it was around when I was probably in my teens, I think, because
Mhm.
I'm old.
Old.
I understand. I liked it whenever people ask like how old I am, like within the anime sphere. I'm just like, I remember trying to read manga online because it was the only place that you can find it. And each page took like 30 seconds at least to load. And trying to get
Dial up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I used to have to go to Japantown in San Francisco.
We didn't have a Japantown where I lived.
We would have to go to Japantown, and that's where you would get your anime or your manga if you were a big manga fan.
LA has Little Tokyo. I'm sure. I know I've seen that stuff down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I grew up in like South Florida. We did not have. Yeah, we weren't very multicultural at all.
You'd have to go to Epcot, I guess, and go to Japan.
I loved Epcot for that reason. I'm like, oh my gosh,
I did
Japanese
too.
culture.
Yes.
I decided that every time we go to Epcot now, I'm going to buy a set of chopsticks from there.
Smart.
Do they have different chopsticks?
Yeah, they have like a bunch of little like trinkets and things that I mean, you could frankly you get anywhere at probably at a regular store, like you said at Little Japan. But it's just one of those things. Like instead of buying like the Mickey ears or whatever, it just I ended up being an accident. I was like, okay, I guess this is my thing now.
That's okay.
Guess that's how most of those like fandom things. Is there anything that you collect, Jackie?
What don't I collect?
Or one particular like collection that you're particularly proud of?
Yes, my favorite. It is very small, but I am working on collecting animation cells. I really love them,
Nice.
like old ones. I have a couple Sailor Moon ones, and so like they're hard to find, but I love them.
Are they like the lithograph things?
Huh?
Are they like lithographs?
No, it's actual cells from
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
like the actually like hand painted.
hand-painted
Gotcha.
cells. Yeah.
Like the kind that they
Nice.
talk about on the. I mean, I feel stupid for saying this. Like the kind that they talk about on the Snow White PBS.
Absolutely. No,
Mhm.
that's not stupid. That's exactly what it is.
Like,
Yes.
I think it's on like celluloid is what it's called.
Yep.
Yes.
Exactly.
Mhm.
That's the only reference that I know. And the only other, like, not fun fact, but one of them, it's sort of a fun fact. It's Disney. We're not going to get into Disney till we get to the bracket, but I will share
How
that
dare you?
one of the hardest, like,
Well, that's a whole
vintage,
different.
Disney like cells there is to find is Dumbo, because it was made during the Depression, and so they recycled a lot of it. So if you ever come across a Dumbo like authentic cell, or yeah,
There's
cell
some here, yeah.
animation cell, hold on to it. This is your
Well, yeah.
Well,
Hopefully, I have thousands to just throw away at that time.
Right.
There was. I have to verify exactly what this was, but there was a Totoro cell that just sold for tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh gosh.
Wow.
how did you get into collecting that? Is that just something like you saw and you thought it was cool? And
Yeah, it
Or
was.
like-
I've always loved animation and the whole process of it. and I can't really draw, so I can just admire from afar. And when I learned that like they had to spend, you know, oh my gosh, countless amounts of hours on each individual like moment, I just thought that was just so beautiful and so like precious that I don't know, it just meant so much. And so when I found out that you could just like get them and have them, I was floored. I was like, yes, I need them. Yeah.
Do you have them framed or like an album?
I don't have them framed yet. They're like within like plastic stuff. I want to get it like professionally done.
Right.
But
That's gotta look cool, like with like a shadow framer or whatever, like just clear.
they're just gorgeous.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, you got some Studio Ghibli stuff, so I mean, that's awesome.
So how much is the Sailor Moon still being actively like animated? Is it still airing like new episodes, or is everything that airs now just stuff that's been shot already?
The stuff that's going on now. So, did you ever watch Full Metal Alchemist?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. So
I watched Full House.
A little different.
What basically
Just a
is
little
going on is the original series is like the first series of Full Metal Alchemist, where it loosely is based on the manga, but it definitely like goes off in its own direction many times. Crystal, this new one that completely follows the manga, no filler. I tell everybody it's like Spark Notes for Sailor Moon, where it's a little different from the original, but it follows the manga spectacularly. So that's what this is. And then they've broken it up into 4, as the first one had like 200 episodes. This one has like 50-ish.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's still a lot. So that's a lot of screen time if like to just get started on it.
For sure. Absolutely. But like if you don't want to like fully commit, I would definitely go the Crystal route. Actually, I guess it's less because the last one was just a 2-part movie. So I guess it's really only like 25-ish. Yeah.
Is this on Netflix or do you know of anything?
Probably on Crunchyroll, if anything.
It was on Netflix. I know Eternal was on Netflix.
One Pills in Harmony?
Crystal, I can tell you right now. Yeah, I know it was on Netflix.
Like I said, Crunchyroll for sure, because I mean, if it's anime,
Isn't
it's on
that-
Crunchyroll.
Oh, sorry.
Not necessarily.
Or Funimation.
Are there some other secret super
Well, I mean, if it just hasn't
streams of
well, if it's like illegal anime, like ones that haven't gotten US rights that can't be aired here, then you have to go on
VPN and
you have to go on. I just watched a thing on cryptocurrency and blockchain last night, so I'm an expert.
Oh, nice.
so basically I know everything.
So you're gonna start making me NFTs?
No, I understand it now, so now I'm trying to like functionally use it.
So now you're gonna be a millionaire and you're gonna buy a house.
Yeah, I'm already a millionaire because
Gotcha.
I'm marrying this guy.
Oh
So
God.
he's $1 million in my.
Oh,
I know it's so sweet. It's so sweet. I can't even stand it.
I can't even stand it either.
Yeah.
That's been her running joke lately, just because she doesn't normally say sweet, mushy things like that.
No, what happened is I gave him a small personal loan, and he
Defaulted.
I gave him a small personal loan, and he's in the process of getting it back to me. But I was talking to my mom, and she goes, "That's that's really great that like you guys trust each other and you help each other out." And I go, "Yeah, that's good. That's what you do when you're in a relationship." And she goes, "Well, you should get like a reward for that." And like without even skipping a beat, I said, "Philippe is my reward." And she goes, and I was like, "Did I just say that?"
oh.
She's like, "What are you doing to me, Philippe?"
I know, it's just okay.
So adorable, it makes you sick.
100% makes her sick.
Let's see. Okay.
Have you just started building this today, or is this?
No.
No, this
Okay.
This is from last week.
last week.
All right, I was gonna say, I'm like, man, you've made some progress.
I'm finishing this one for this week. And then I have a little Ahsoka that I'm gonna build, and I have a feeling that that's not even gonna be enough. So I'm probably gonna actually start like next week's build.
We might have to talk to each other. Is that what you're saying?
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Really?
Man,
Who wants to talk to me? That's terrible.
I don't know.
Now that I know you're worth $1 million, I think I'm all in.
Yeah.
Gotta be nice to you now. Crap.
I wish that was a real valuation. I wish it was worth that much.
So you guys, last time you were with Distance Nerding in the same room, you guys were at Gem State Comic-Con.
Yes.
How did you like that? Like, what was your experience?
It was so much fun. Everybody was so sweet. I've never been to Idaho, so it was a lovely experience. The people who were running the con were very, very welcoming. My handler was this amazing girl who was a competitive Pokemon card game player, which I thought was the coolest thing.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
What is that?
I got some really wonderful gifts from people. It was just a really great con. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the girl that gave you the Sailor Moon.
Yeah, the little keychain.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really sweet.
Oh no!
Did you break it?
I just wrecked this whole thing.
Did
The
you?
good news is now he can finish. Tito won't finish it today. Yay!
Well, I mean, it's not like he left it on top of his truck and drove and
Oh,
it fell down.
yeah.
Oh no, not like Batman.
He did that to one of the Batman helmets. He took it outside to show it to the neighbor, and then after this show, he goes outside and has a beer with the neighbor, and they were out there talking whatever, and then so Philippe came back in the house, and then he went to work the next day, and he like hit this corner, and he heard something fall off his truck, and anyway, so he gets out, and the Batman cowl is just splattered all over the street. He actually got all the pieces.
You got all of them? Okay,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
talent.
He collected all of the pieces. However, 2 of the pieces were like damaged from the fall. So we just borrowed. The neighbor had them, so they were just
As
they were,
neighbors do.
Yeah.
Well, because our neighbors are also Lego fans.
Yeah.
So.
So then we did like a special like Sunday airing of the build because we rebuilt the Batman cowl.
I'm so happy it survived. I've done that before with a cell phone.
Oh, I've been there.
Happy ending there.
Yeah, I can't say. No, I know. I think I did that with like not like an iPhone. I think I did it with like a.
I did it with one of the first iPhones at the
wow.
beach.
The ones that you couldn't cough on without breaking it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was shooting photos for engagement session and forgot it was in my pocket.
So that's the Imperial Shuttle there.
Yes. It looks so cool.
It's all
And
right.
then, of course, on top of that, it comes with Luke.
Of course.
It comes with Vader.
Later.
Yes.
And it comes with a random Imperial officer.
Let's name him. Quick, let's name him.
Steve.
Oh my god, that's what I was gonna say.
Steve.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that's so
Solid
funny.
name.
I was literally gonna say that.
Officer Steve.
I'm going to put Officer Steve inside the shuttle because literally there's a little slot for him to sit in the shuttle.
Oh, is that his name? Does it say Steve on the seat?
It does say Steve on the seat.
Steve's seat.
Cam said Billy Bob.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Billy Bob Steve.
And then I'm going to put Vader inside the shuttle.
Lieutenant Tangent.
Is there a seat for him too?
There is a seat for him inside the shuttle.
James said Lieutenant Tangent.
Lieutenant Tangent. All right, so these guys are eventually going to end up on the shelf.
Okay.
Ugh. Move this over.
Maybe I'll take that one to work.
Here yourself.
Yeah. Do those
now-
go with stormtroopers?
They do actually.
All right, I'll take it to work.
So now I've got this Ahsoka brickhead.
It's so tiny.
Nice.
So I'm gonna build Ahsoka next, and if I finish this super early, then maybe I'll bust open next week's build.
Okay, so you're into Sailor Moon and you're into collecting. Is it anime cell art?
Yeah, animation cells. Mhm.
Okay. Is it just for anime or like any type of like?
Just any, but mostly I've only collected anime so far.
Okay. Are there any other like things that you nerd out on? What is your view on virtual reality?
Oh god.
Oh. Are we talking about like the future of virtual reality, like the whole metaverse thing, or are we talking about like
can.
Beat Saber?
We can whatever
Like-
direction you want to take this tangent, we will write it.
I haven't had a lot of experience with virtual reality systems. I've played a little bit of Beat Saber. That's kind of it. I think that it could be really cool one day. The metaverse scares the crap out of me, but I feel like I'm conflicted because I've seen a lot of dystopian futuristic movies and books. And that kind of feels like we're just kind of pushing ourselves in that direction with that. But on the other side, on the nerdy side, I'm like, but that would be really cool. And I would
No,
love to have a world that I could just explore. That wasn't this one. So, conflicting emotions.
Right? Like it's like, yeah, no, I've seen Akira and, and what's the one that's in my head right now? They made a movie that flopped.
The Ready Player One.
No, and there was a lot of like the big complaint was that it was cultural appropriation because they should have made her Japanese. But
Oh, Ghost in the Shell?
Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought the soundtrack to Ready Player One was awesome.
Ready Player One was a good movie.
I like Ready Player One.
I liked it. I'm not always like it's really hard to get me to like sit down and watch a movie unless I have COVID. But I watched that movie and I really liked it, but I think it was the soundtrack that like pulled me into it.
But they just announced the book for Ready Player Two.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Maybe
cool.
I'll do that.
Real quick from the chat, Cam Smith said Jackie hopes you're able to come back to Idaho for Gem State Comic-Con next year.
I hope so too. That would be so lovely. It was a lot of fun.
And Phil, I don't know if you said so or not. Is that the which Ahsoka is it? Is it the
This
block?
is the
Brickheads.
so this is the Ahsoka
Brickheads, there you
brickhead. Yeah.
Okay.
Fun fact, and the only reason that I'm building this is because I did acquire an Ahsoka, or like, you know, two of these. So basically, I have one to build and one to give away on stream. Now, guys,
Can I have it?
I know, right? Guys, remember we're still on that reach, that quest for
700.
700 followers on Facebook specifically. We're well past that on Instagram, but I mean, like on we are looking for that on Facebook. So when we hit 700 followers on Facebook, this is going to be another giveaway within that giveaway kind of, you know, section thing, whatever I want to call that.
And where are we at right now?
Just under 6.
Yeah.
Just under 6. All right.
You can do it.
We have a couple of questions in the chat from Darren Chibi.
Darren Chibi.
First question is, what anime characters you do the voiceover for? Oh, I thought that was something else. Sorry. I thought sorry. However, but that's a question in the chat, and I have a terrible memory. The only one that I can think of is the only one that I can think of that you do, because it's the one that I was like, I liked the storyline of it the most, was and I can't remember the whole name, so please forgive me, but I do remember it, was the night is long, so walk on.
Oh, Night is Short, Walk
Night
On
is
Girl.
Okay, I was close.
You were. And I'm so happy that you know that one because nobody knows that one.
Yeah, we watched the trailer and everything, and she was like really interested in watching it. She was like, this looks really good. I want to watch this.
Yeah. So it's on my list to watch. But again, it's one of those things like I know that looks bad as like, oh, like why don't you just watch it? It's because I want to sit down and like pay attention to it. And
because you don't have COVID anymore.
I understand. Well, yeah, you just need to get COVID again.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what are you waiting for?
No, but even with COVID, I was like in and out, and it was more like comfort, like movies and TV shows and stuff like that. But it's something that I want, not Golden Girls and Seinfeld and like classic Disney.
No, what's your like go-to comfort movie? Like feeling crappy,
anger management.
Oh.
Nice.
I don't know why, but it's like I think it's the whole like New York and like going to like a baseball game and. I mean, it's the same like thing. Like I love going to I love going to Giants games. I love going to A's games, even though there was an article in the paper that they're the loneliest baseball team in the league because like nobody goes
that's the Rockies.
Really?
Yes, because they are they're in a facility that's like slowly breaking down. The Raiders went to Las Vegas. There's really nothing else that goes on at the Coliseum.
You're gonna offend
the
James
Warriors are across the bay in San Francisco. Like the A's are like the last man standing. But
they're talking about going down to Vegas too.
Yeah, and so anyway, not to make this into like a
always sports when I'm on
talk, but yeah, I don't anger management. Is like. Just like that, like it's just fun. It's just funny. They sing all these like stupid songs in it, and it's so funny.
Yeah, it's a great movie. What about the rest of you? What are your go-to comfort movies?
Fight Club.
Oh,
yeah.
I could rewatch Fight Club.
We don't
it's
talk
one of those movies. If it comes on and it's already on, I'll just sit down and watch it. I don't even care what I was doing.
Yeah. What's rule number 1 of Fight Club?
Don't talk about it.
We'll talk about fucking Fight Club.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
Oh no! He goes, rule number 1 of Fight Club: you don't talk about Fight Club.
Yeah,
rule number 2 about Fight Club: you don't fucking talk about Fight Club.
How about you, Squints?
Geez.
I've never heard of that one.
Yeah. Probably anything Chris Farley.
That's a good choice.
He's one of my favorite comedians. So, and I've met him. So.
Yeah.
Oh, you lucky bastard.
Yeah.
Yesterday, in fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In virtual reality.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be Matt Foley for Halloween this year.
Nice.
Yay!
Okay, so we went off on a little bit of a tangent about the A's being the loneliest baseball team in the league. And so when we were talking about your the what am I trying to say? Sorry, I have COVID brain. We were talking about that, and then we were talking about just the different projects that you've been in.
Mm-hmm.
Philippe, can you remember some of them?
Oh yeah,
she's been in Hunter x Hunter. She's been in, I mean, some of them are small roles. Some of the other ones that she does.
Yeah, my bigger ones are. You said Genshin Impact, Rising of the Shield Hero, Pokemon Masters.
I mean, you play a pretty major character in Pokemon Masters.
Mm-hmm. She's wonderful. The Somnium Files, but that's a game. Grand Blue Fantasy.
It's actually funny. The Somnium Files. I actually went and watched like the cinematic pieces that you're involved in some of the fight scenes.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is pretty interesting actually.
I love this game. I loved it. I cannot wait for the sequel to come out in like just over a month now. Yeah, I'm a big Uchikoshi fan, so I love his work. It's good stuff.
Which one is the one where you're like a chef?
That's Genshin Impact.
And also Tokyo 24th Ward.
Yeah, it's a leap.
Okay.
Jeez.
Like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm just mansplaining her experiences.
Don't tell her what she's been in.
Oh, here I have some of them in front of my face right now. Actually. Yeah. So it looks like Hunter x Hunter.
Someone in the chat did ask about Hunter x Hunter. I was trying to find who it was, so I apologize for not.
Oh, Darren,
addressing.
you
Okay.
said what character in Hunter x Hunter do you voice
Oh
over?
gosh, I think it's an incidental, like a very very small character in.
You were like a ring announcer.
Let's get ready. No.
It's been many years.
So how did you get involved in
Yeah.
voiceover to begin with?
I've always done some form of entertainment, singing, acting, dancing in like high school. And after graduating college, I was just like, I want to do something creative. So I moved to California and started pursuing acting and hated being like on set, like which was ridiculous. Like I love acting, but like the whole process of being like on set,
Waiting.
it was very, the whole atmosphere was very
Seems like it's tense.
but it's very tense. It's very much like there were no friends. It was all just like, what can you do for me to get ahead?
Right. Yeah.
Which I've always heard about on screen is like there's a lot of like backstabbing that happens in on screen acting.
Yes. And I don't want to surround myself with that. I don't want to be involved with that, but I wanted to do something with acting. And one of my friends was that I was working with at a comedy club. She was just like, come to this voiceover class. Like, this is dumb. You love anime and cartoons. Why aren't you doing this? And I went to this class and it was incredible. Like, everybody was so friendly. Everybody was like, okay, if you want to get into this, you know, you got to do this and this. They were just so supportive of one another and of new people. Like, it wasn't a competition. It was just like, we're all just trying to fight our way into this crazy world. And then the moment I stepped in the booth, I was just like, oh my God, I'm never doing anything else
Found your
again.
spot, huh?
Yeah. It was just like, it was acting, but it was so freeing because no one was really like looking at your own little world.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. And then like 2 months later, I found that there was like a open audition that was happening at an anime convention. And I was like, all right, I'm going to study every day and I'm going to go audition at this thing. And I did. And I got on their roster and now I'm in anime.
Have you done any voiceovers in Japan or has it all been in the US?
It has all been in the US, all been in California. I mean, I've worked with some companies in like over Skype in New York, and I do work with companies in China, but I've never gone to there.
I have a quick question. Follow up on what you said about the entertainment. So you said you like singing and entertaining all that stuff. Are you into karaoke? And if so, what's your go-to song?
Love
Nice.
karaoke. Love it. My go-to is "Love Is a Battlefield."
Yes.
I love the 80s music. I love strong, powerful female vocals.
The fact that you just brought up Pat Benatar, I am very, very happy about that.
Love Pat Benatar.
So karaoke at the next Comic-Con is what I'm
Yes,
hearing.
absolutely.
Don't get me there.
We'll
And
drag
did you say
there.
you worked at a comedy club or a friend of yours did?
I did. When I first moved to LA, I worked at a comedy club. I worked at 2 different comedy clubs. I worked at Flappers, which is a small
Burbank.
little in Burbank, and then the Comedy Store in.
Of course, world famous.
I worked for between the 2 of them like 4.5, 5 years.
Wow. Okay.
Fun stuff. Met crazy, interesting people. It was a fun atmosphere. I did attempt stand up a few times.
I was gonna ask that.
It did not go well. There is
That
a
was gonna ask
reason
that.
I'm a voice actress.
Look,
It's
I
that-
try stand up. I'm not funny.
I'm not there. Wow, you really realize like how not funny you are when you have a room full of people judging you.
Just staring at you, waiting for you to be funny.
Or
That's
heckling you.
Like great people I've seen just bomb in front of a room just because I don't know the people weren't into it, but
Every
greats-
comic bombs.
yeah, I think my favorite I ever saw was oh my gosh, this is gonna drive me crazy. No, okay, hold on. I shouldn't have started this conversation.
Okay, you've got
Maybe this question will jog your memory. So James in the chat wanted to know, who did you work with while at the comedy clubs, specifically the Comedy Store?
Comedy Store.
See if that jogs your memory at all for what you're going to say.
You have
it
any hints about who you might be thinking about?
gosh, he was in what was this old 70s movies with the
he had
two
jokes.
He had what? What do you?
there
He
were
had
two
jokes.
guys and they were rockers and they were stupid.
Airheads?
Airheads?
No,
Oh.
Oh, no.
Seventies.
Not Airheads.
Wayne's
Wait.
World?
Dial it up.
Wayne's World. Yes.
Hey!
Oh,
Dana
that's not-
Carvey.
These?
What is it?
Dana Carvey. Thank you. Oh my
You're
God,
welcome.
that was driving me.
But it took place in
Game on!
Him and Christopher Titus are the two best comics
Titus
that
is
I've ever
hilarious.
seen
Hilarious.
in
Yes.
person. Yes. Oh, and Joey Diaz. Love him.
Joey Coco was the
yes,
best.
I love Joey Diaz.
He's not for everybody, but man.
He is not for
He's
everybody,
hilarious.
but I appreciate him.
Mm-hmm.
Kettle corn. Just give me a bag of kettle corn, I'll be fine.
I appreciate the amount of sweat that he goes through on stage on a given set.
Not even on stage. Like he's just
Yeah,
he
100%.
just exists
Sweaty
in
guy.
sweat.
Uh-huh. I got to see him a couple of times, once at the Ice House and I think at the Laugh Factory back in the day.
Sweetest man.
See, this is why I stick to comedy and podcasts, because it makes some people laugh during a podcast, but not regularly. I couldn't do stand up.
Yeah, it's a skill for
Isn't
sure.
the Comedy Store haunted?
Yes,
Mhm.
absolutely.
I see because I
Ooh.
watch Unsolved Mysteries, like it's a bad habit, and there's a did you experience
Yeah,
any
let's hear it.
type of weirdness?
I did not myself. I had plenty of coworkers that did, but I tell you what, when you turn the
Oh, they-
lights off at that store at the end of the night and no one else is there, it is terrifying.
I'll tell you what.
I'm gonna tell you what, Bobby.
There's so
Well,
many like
I'm-
secret
Bobby.
rooms that it's just like all mirrors because it was the 80s.
Hard
and,
pass.
and it's terrifying.
I don't want to look at one of me in the mirror, let alone multiples of me in multiple mirrors.
Oh gosh, but I got to meet great people there. I got to see some amazing surprise comedy shows.
I was waiting for you to say I got to meet and insert dead comic here.
No.
Oh, sorry, I had a thought and it flew out of my brain. Oh, what was your most interesting experience at the comedy store, other than the haunting experience?
Other than the hauntings, let's see. I really loved. There was this one, Jay and Silent Bob. Silent
Jason.
Bob did a show every month.
Oh,
Kevin
okay.
Smith?
Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith,
is
yes.
my-
He's like the king
my
of the
hero.
show.
Yes,
that man is my hero.
he's wonderful, and he would do a podcast there, like once a
Batman
month.
and Robin.
Did he do Fat Man and Batman there?
There you go. There you go.
Batman and Robin.
No, it's called
Batman
Fat
and
Man on
Batman,
Batman.
There you go.
He has Fat Man on Batman. He has Jay and Silent Bob Get Old. He has yeah, these are real.
Was the Comic Book Man, was that a podcast as well?
Comic Book Man was a podcast, but it
Okay.
was that was like a TV show for the
Yeah,
most
yeah.
part, more than anything. I'm trying to remember the one that he does. Hollywood Babylon is like his other big main one.
So, what was the interesting story about?
Well, no, just that it wasn't really anything interesting. It was just it was just amazing, like how packed he would get this place,
Oh yeah.
and just how into just his fandom is insane, and they love him.
So many characters. he
Yes,
does.
we do.
Yes, and it's really cool to see. That was the worst commute job I ever had.
Oh wow.
Where were you driving from?
Honestly, if I had to just drive, it'd be like a half hour. But I had to take the bus.
Oof.
So it was 3
Yikes.
hours.
Yeah.
And it was right around the corner.
It was right around the corner. And I don't know if y'all have ever taken the bus in LA.
I
but
have,
it is,
unfortunately,
Yep.
yes. It's an experience.
it's a sketchy place.
Mm-hmm.
So did
Mhm.
you take the bus because they didn't have a parking lot?
Oh, no, because I didn't have a car.
Oh.
That's very common.
Speaking of the parking lot, James wanted to know, do you have any stories from the parking lot? See, here's that's where all the comedians would hang out and talk smack.
Oh! That are legal to share? No.
I
You
mean,
won't get in trouble for sharing.
or you can give us an illegal one and just call them the comedian.
No, I don't know. We were fairly wholesome. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like positive things, because for all that I'm thinking of is like, sounds like I'm talking shit about a bunch of comedians. I'm like, let's try to think of positive things that happen.
Without naming any names or saying anything, in regard to anybody, did you meet any like not famous but like more well-known comedians that turned out to be like dickheads?
Absolutely. There were some. This was such a huge thing. You respect the light. Like if the light comes on, you're supposed to like. It's like a light comes on to like warn you that like your time is almost up. That you should be wrapping up your set and get off. And there are some people that just think that they are the coolest thing ever, and will just go
Ignore it. Yeah.
and go. And there was one night where a man was supposed to have a 20-minute set, and I was waitressing the show, so of course I had to stay until it was over and clean up afterwards. And this guy stayed on stage for 3 hours.
Oh my god.
Oh,
We didn't even start cleaning until like 1 in the
sounds like
morning.
Dave Chappelle.
It wasn't Dave Chappelle. It was not. Actually, I have seen him once, and he was a very sweet man.
I've always heard good things about him in person.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've met him. He's very cool.
Yeah. He's a cool guy. But yeah, there are definitely those out there that are definitely not.
James posits it was Carlos Mencia.
Yeah, he had some stories too. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I won't get into it, but I went to a comedy show here in Sacramento with a very well-known. It was before he was very well-known comic, and I did not have a good experience at his show. He like called me out and like basically heckled me because I wasn't like laughing out, because I don't laugh out loud. I kind of go, "Huh, that's funny."
Yeah.
Like unless somebody's getting hurt, I'm not laughing. I mean, and that means like either your ego or like your person, like, but yeah, he like
Good comedians don't do that. Comedians that are insecure do that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you had that experience.
Oh no, that's okay. I mean, yeah, I mean, I still enjoy going to them, but
Dane, it was Dane, says James.
That's another guy I've heard good things about.
Dane Cook.
Dane
I
Cook.
watched something with him in it recently. I can't remember what it was.
He hasn't
Podcast?
been in something in so long. Was it a new
No, so I know Dane Cook. He took a break from comedy for a while,
right?
and he's been kind of like coming back out recently.
Oh, I haven't heard. Him.
I hadn't realized that.
He actually has like a not a special, but like there's something on YouTube where he talks about like just his general bad experience in the comedy world, and it just kind of turned him off to it for a while.
Gotcha.
Makes sense. It's dark, especially you go to the Comedy Store. Like Flappers is a little like there's a little light there because it's a lot of like new people, so they still have the sparkle in their eye. But the Comedy Store is just a bunch of like jaded older comics that have just been doing this forever, and it's just a completely different mindset there.
Yeah.
It's it's dark.
Okay, so you left your not left, but you did your stint in comedy and then found your passion and the love of your life, which is voiceover.
Yeah.
Right? Is that correct?
Mhm.
Okay. And so that's where we're at. And then where do you see sorry, I'm still learning how to do this, so please
You're good.
So I guess where are some like where do you I don't want to say like where do you see yourself going, but like what are some things that you're like you're looking forward to, I guess.
Yeah, I'd love to do more like original animation. I've been mainly focusing on anime for a while, which I love, I adore. But it's a little restricting sometimes, and I'd really like to get into something that's just a little more freeing, like original. I would love to be a magical girl one day. That's like my big goal. Makes sense. Sailor Moon.
Okay.
I have a question. So, do you have, and feel free to not answer either one of these because it's putting you on the spot, but do you have a favorite voice job that you've done? And do you feel comfortable letting us hear it?
Oh, like actually like speak it like in the voice?
Yeah, like any like specific, and it doesn't have to be like whatever title was your favorite one, like that you enjoyed the most. Again, like I said, I know it's putting you in the spot, so
no, you're good.
Also, like asking you to like say
to
who your
choose your
favorite child
children.
is.
I know, because each one of them is like is so special at this point, and for like different reasons. My two favorites are Aset, from the Somnium Files, and then probably I love Zhongling from Genshin Impact, but they're very similar voices. They're very similar attitudes. But Zhongling has a lot of fun lines, which I really like. But for Aset, I could do her intro. Prepare yourself. It is very high pitched and jarring.
let's do it.
Good evening, good morning, and hello! It's the brand new star of the net world, ASAT, Tessa, also known as ASAT. You bet!
That's
Nope. I like that.
yeah. That character is like, I would have to drink so much coffee before doing every session because that is her. Every single moment of the day is that 100% energy. But I loved it, and it was fun to be her. She was like set of like YouTube videos. You could they had like this whole other world. She was like a net idol, so like all of those VTubers that you see nowadays, this was like before that whole craze. So it was fun to be one of the first. And then Zhongling is a little more cute, and she has fun lines like,
Help! My dinner's attacking me!
okay, I'm very high pitched. It's all very high pitched.
I've had dinner attack me. Not fun. It's not fun. It usually ends up on my shirt, and it's a whole crime scene. It's bad.
So one of the things, and this is it may or may not be
You're not supposed to go after it with the fork, right?
One of the things that I noticed, and this may or may not be unique to you, but it's what I've noticed from, watching your interviews and just Philippe and I like talking about your different work and the different stuff is that you seem to really genuinely like and enjoy the characters that you play. So I'm just kind of like curious, like, how do you like not necessarily a criteria, but like, what do you kind of like look for, like in a character? Like, what excites you about characters? Just, you seem to do the ones that excite you the most, but I'm just curious.
Well, I also have very little say. It's more the casting director. Like, But that's the thing with like creating your character is you put a little bit of you in each one of them. Like, yes, you are becoming that character, but your character has to come from somewhere. So I feel like the ones that I love the most are the ones that I can connect to and kind of put myself in more. And kind of there's one character that I cannot really talk about, but I've had this experience a few times where you get the audition and you kind of like look through, and there are some moments where you read it and you're just like, oh my gosh, I completely see this entire person's life before me. I know exactly what they're going through, and just that connection is really what draws me to each character. And honestly, if I can't find that connection, I'm not going to do well in the audition. So I'm not going to book them anyways. The terrifying parts are the times that I don't connect to a character and then I book it.
Then you get it?
Oh yeah.
Oh no.
And then I have to be like, why? What did I do that you liked about this?
Why do you hate me, casting director?
Yeah, right.
Like, famously, you look at Mark Hamill and the Joker. Like if you've ever heard the story of like when Mark Hamill got that job, he wasn't auditioning as the Joker. He did. It was kind of like they were like, "Oh, we like what you did here," because they had already cast what's his name? Rocky Horror Picture Show. What's his name? Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
Tim Curry.
Yeah, that's about as far as I got.
They had already cast Tim Curry as the Joker. He had already recorded an entire season as the Joker.
What?
Yeah, and what happened was Mark Hamill, he wasn't into voice acting that much yet, and he had come in to do like additional voices, and somebody was like, we like the voices that you're doing. Could you try saying one of these lines? And he just kind of like came up with this weird voice and started like reading these lines. Well, it turns out these lines are for the Joker, and they ended up recasting him as the Joker. And when he came back, like he said, it was like 4 or 5 months later, right? He comes back and they're like, oh yeah, so we cast you as the Joker, not knowing that he took the job from Tim Curry either.
Oh wow.
And he like literally he was like, the way that he had to play it off, he's like, I don't even remember what I did for this voice that got me this job. And and the way that he played it off, he asked the casting director, or he asked the audio director, hey, I just want to get a quick reference. Do you have a recording of when I did the original Joker? I just want to make sure I'm getting the nuances and everything down. In reality, he didn't remember what he did. Right? But he played it off so well that they're like, oh no, yeah, we have it. And he listened to it and he goes, oh, that's what I did. Okay.
I remember that. Yeah.
And then went and did the Joker. And then he said, he goes, for everybody out there, he goes, that's first 10 episodes of Batman the Animated Series where you see the Joker. He said they're somewhere locked up in a vault somewhere is those exact scenes with Tim Curry playing the Joker.
That's crazy.
James said something, he said in the chat that he played the Joker as impersonating Tim Curry. I don't know if that's just James being James.
No, and that was the whole thing, because like they were saying like, yeah, it was something about how like, he had known that Tim Curry was playing the character and he didn't want to take it from him.
Oh, okay.
I feel so much better with my recast to know that Tim Curry was recast on something.
Yeah.
Because it happens to everybody, and like nobody likes to talk about it because it's like, it sucks.
It hurts, I'm sure.
Yes. But like knowing that like someone as amazing as him got recast, it's like, oh, okay, I don't feel so bad now.
Yeah. And again, it's like, it's sometimes just a better fit, because I guarantee that Tim Curry performance of the Joker is probably amazing, but is it better than Mark Hamill's? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry. So are you able to share with us like your most challenging character the most challenging character you've had to connect with?
That is a good question. Hold on. Let me pull up my list so I can actually. I'm a visual person.
Okay.
I really have to think about that.
Where are you at on that?
I'm almost done with this.
Okay. Wow. Philippe's gonna have to be a part of the conversation tonight.
Oh gosh.
Don't re-break it, Philippe.
So what you're saying is I'm not a part of the conversation right now.
No, you are.
You are.
The Legos hear you.
All right, guys,
Girls.
And ladies.
girls and ladies.
Girls
So
and ladies, copy that.
Ahsoka Tano.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Oh.
it's so cute.
The
Nice.
brickheads are adorable.
Yeah.
You're a
If you guys
blockhead,
haven't
Charlie
checked
Brown.
out the brickheads, like Jack, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Can you grab me?
No, say no, Jackie. Say no.
No.
Say no, Jackie.
Just because it's behind, so I can't grab it. But like, so I have Grogu here.
Oh no, Jackie's gone. That's cool.
And then Din Djarin.
Oh,
And these are also brickheads. So this is the same line.
everything's that are little.
No, those are the only brickheads I have.
How many are out now for Star Wars?
For the brickheads, there's a crap
Yeah.
ton of them, man. They have like all the Disney characters. They have there's a
ton of
couple Star Wars
brickheads.
characters and whatnot. Like they have Kylo Ren and they have like the Sith troopers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Our Alexa is very nosy.
Like,
I
this
have
is-
my answer.
Okay, let's hear
Yeah.
Okay. There's this one anime that no one's ever seen. And it's called My Setsu. And it's about comedians, about a group of 4 aspiring comedians. They're great friends, and they're not good comedians. And they bomb pretty much every set. It's very awkward. But my character is very nerdy, and it's a lower pitch than I'm used to. But I'm used to playing very charismatic and outgoing characters, and she is very subtle. And just trying to get a performance that I was still, I still want to make her exciting, and I still want to give her a really great personality, but I can only do it a little bit because she's very reserved and very shy. So that was a challenge for me, and I worked every session. I was really working hard with the director to try to find that really thin line. So it was a great experience. I hope I did okay.
Do you almost feel like muffled, like in a way, like having to do that?
Yes, it was I would leave every session just being so tense because everything had to be kept inside, and every emotion had to be kind of just mitigated a little bit. So it was an exciting experience.
Can you tell us like what without having to get too into, because I'm sure it's intricate, but what you have to go through for as far as like getting a part or auditioning for a part, or like what's the process that you have to go through? I mean, to just get in the door and then get booked for a job.
Now that I have built relationships, it's a little easier than it used to be. Now I either receive an audition from my agent or a casting director or a fellow actor that's casting for something. I'll get an email. It'll give me just like some lines that they have. Sometimes I'll get a voice reference. Not always. Sometimes I'll get like a little picture of what they look like. Not always. And then I record the lines in my beautiful closet and edit them, send them out. And if I don't book it, I never hear anything again. If I do book it, I will either know within a day or a few months. You never really know. I think a year is the longest I ever went between an audition and actually working on the project.
Oh wow!
Yeah, you
I just
really
didn't
never
hear
know.
anything.
Yeah, just you don't hear a word,
wow.
and all of a sudden it's just like, oh hey, by the way, we're working on this, and you booked it.
You're like, did I do something for that?
Yeah, you forget. You're just like, wait, what was that?
So you had your own Mark Hamill moment.
Yes, exactly. That happens a lot. So yeah, and it really, every show has a different schedule. Simulcasts are the most crazy. That's, if you don't know, that's when they launch the English and Japanese version
I've
of
seen
like an
those in the
anime at the
theaters,
same
yeah.
time.
Mhm.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. I was saying I've seen those released in the theaters recently. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They
Well,
did
they've
that
been
with One Punch Man too.
they've been doing it with a lot of series lately, and that one is, the deadlines are so tight for that because you're recording each episode a week before they come out.
Oof.
So
Oh, wow.
it is
Not a
crazy
lot of margin for
intense.
error.
No, but then I'll have some projects where I'll work on it and finish it, and then won't even see anything or hear anything for another year.
I mean, projects are like that. So I mean, like, especially in the voice community and stuff like that, because a lot of times, I mean, you'll do a show and then the show doesn't get picked up or something like that.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it's changing a little bit with the advent of the internet, and like you can just self-publish a lot of stuff. But I mean, for the most part, yeah.
Thank you, Al Gore.
Everybody thank Al Gore for the internet.
Thank you, Al Gore.
What is it? Uranium. What is it called? The crypto.
Mountain Bear Pig.
No, the crypto.
Oh, Eurethium.
Urethra. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I'm a crypto queen now.
Not Eurethium.
My urethrium? I
was
don't know
gonna
if anyone wants to buy that.
I don't know if we could talk about that on the live stream.
Oh, I mean, there are things that we shouldn't talk about that we've been trying to bring up for like the last 20
Bruno.
minutes.
In my
I mean, like,
defense,
don't
I
wanna
am
talk about
I am
Bruno.
a health science major, so that's why I went towards the urethra.
yeah, I know, right? I mean, we're
Uranium. That's a new crypto version coming out.
Yeah.
urethra. That's the one that the doctors are going into.
But fungusium. There's a lot of things.
Fungusium.
It's an emerging
sounds
market. You gotta
so good.
really keep your ear to the ground.
So no, I'm going to be very blunt with what I'm going to say right now, because Jackie's
Doesn't
been
sound like
trying
you
to.
at all.
I know, right? No, because Jackie's been trying to bring it up, but it's brushed over, and it's La Jackie. She's been bringing it up, but it's been getting brushed over. So again, I'm just going to just throw it right out there. So tell us about your experience with HentaiCon.
Oh my god!
That's why she was bringing up the virtual reality stuff.
Spare no detail, please.
I mean, you brought it. Speaking of,
Oh, I made her red. Look.
speaking of,
This con has haunted me.
Wow.
So we'll see you next year, huh?
Yeah. Get out, everybody. Okay.
So, one of my first projects was an ecchi. And I was grossly misled when I signed up for this show. Because when they told me about this show, I worked at the dubbing company that was working on the show.
Not
And-
Dubby.
Huh?
No, not
No,
this
not
has nothing to do with Dubby.
just Dubby.
No, this was at Bang Zoom.
I'm sure it was.
And I knew that they were working on like an ecchi, and I was told when I was cast in the part, the casting director took me in her office, and she's just like, "Hey, I kind of want to put you in the show. Just want to make sure you're comfortable with it. Nothing happens to your character. You're perfectly fine." And I was just like, "Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm comfortable with this. This is fine as long as there's no, actual showing of anything. Yeah, that's great."
Weirdness that happens in hentai.
Yes.
Yes.
I watch the Japanese. I kind of like skim through it. It is the version I watched was blurred out, and there were like cute little chibi characters in front of all the bits, and I was
Okay,
like,
the fact that you said chibi makes it 10 times worse.
Yeah.
They have like their chibi heads in front of, like, whenever there be bits on, it'd be like, oh. So I was like, oh, okay, this is kind of cute. And I go into the set. I go into the booth, and there's just boobs, and they're just there, and they're just out. And I was like, hold on. I was told this, and anyways, I did
Nothing's
it.
gonna happen to me. I was told nothing's gonna happen to me.
Nothing happened to me. Nothing happened to me. Other people in my scene, things happened to, but nothing happened to me.
Yeah. Well, I'm convinced.
Shut up and take my money.
So I had a friend call me up one day, and he was like, "Hey, you want to come to a convention?" And I was like, "I've never been invited to a convention before." Yes, I would love to guest at a convention.
Oh, God,
He's
so this
like,
was your first convention.
first convention ever.
Oh gosh.
And I
It
was
was a
like, of
doozy.
course, yes. And he's
Emmett
like,
Cam,
only
no.
thing, it's a hentai con. I was like, oh god, that's either gonna be the funniest thing in the world or the
Or
creepiest.
super creepy.
I would
Or
assume it
both.
would be the creepiest.
Yeah,
it could be
you
both.
think that?
I'd be
So-
down for a recon mission. I just want to go.
Exactly. I just want to see.
All
I
about.
just want to see. I invited a ton of my friends.
Like, is there
I got a
cosplay
bunch
at
of.
this event?
Is there what?
Yeah, is there
Cosplay.
cosplay at this event? Do you just walk around as a giant tentacle? Like, just
Cosplay. So much really dirty cosplay.
Yeah.
They
You should
had
get that
like
to flop like that.
professional hentai cosplayers there.
Oh wow.
So yeah, it was an experience. There were virtual reality rooms. I did try some of the games.
Yay!
oh God,
All in.
did you?
For research purposes.
For
only.
research purposes only.
There was this one game. I don't know how bad you guys want to go here, but there was this one game where you had a belt,
Mhm.
and the belt had some sort of like
Oh, I know this
sensor
one.
joystick or something, and you had to use your motion.
Oh,
to
That's a
play the
different kind of
game.
Beat Saber.
oh, this is so bad. All right,
You did it.
I did, and I was
did.
curious about this. I'm now regretting
Oh
So
man.
I
doing it and bringing
I
up those
had
memories.
some really great experiences. I did have some creepy experiences for
Research
sure.
purposes only. That's a Karenism. Not
Huh?
a bad kind of Karenism. My stepmomism. That's something she would say.
James said that is a different kind of joystick. Not the good kind either. Guys, we need to get into the more wholesome thing. Disney rides at night.
I got one last
What a
question for Bill.
segue.
One last question.
Okay, go for it, man.
Have you ever, Jackie, been cast in a role and given specific idea for a character and then wanted to tweak it a little bit or change it and actually get that positive feedback on it and it actually stuck?
Absolutely. Actually, at every beginning of any session, we usually, especially if it's a recurring role, we spend a good amount of time kind of tweaking the voice, kind of, because when you send an audition, like they're probably not going to look for exactly that voice. In fact, many times I've gone in, my last one I went into, and they're like, hey, we like where you're going with this, but can you maybe just like maybe have a higher pitch or maybe add this other layer to your character? So that happens quite often where like I'll start with one, and then as I start working with the character, your voice will kind of change and merge and like lock in to like that character.
Nice.
So it's always a joint process
Very cool.
developing a character. I didn't mention though, I'm sorry, this is wholesome hentai con stuff.
Yes.
But
yes. No, we're good there.
okay.
Not virtual
Oh, I
reality.
want to hear more.
I did when I was ready backstage to go on to be introduced to like the like introduction ceremony. Start talking to this woman next to me, and she's real nice, and we're hitting it off. And then she introduces herself, and she sang all of the original Sailor Moon songs.
Oh.
And so I got to meet like a huge hero of mine just randomly, and I never would have gotten to if I didn't go to the Dirty Con.
With the virtual reality.
Yes. But yeah, no, pretty much every interview I go to now, somebody brings
I
it
guess
up.
brought up. That's
So-
the thing you can't run away from now at this point. huh?
Well, again, we
Lean
didn't bring it
into
up
it,
at the
lean
show.
into it.
You
We didn't bring
didn't.
it up. Yeah, we didn't bring it up at the show, and specifically, we did that because we knew it was like, we should probably not bring that up on the stage. On the
Like, I don't mind talking about it, but sometimes when there's children in the audience, I
Yeah.
prefer not
This is more because our show
Hey,
is.
Dad,
like-
what's that?
The funny thing is about the funny thing about how that all sort of, I don't want to say how it all came about, but I asked Philippe if I could help him with prep from some stuff for Gem State, and so I watched a couple, I watched some interviews with you, and did looked up into some stuff. But one of the interviews that I was watching, because I'm still new to this, and I'm not like I'm still learning. I'm still like in the gathering stage, and so when I was watching the one interview, I thought they said anti-con, and I was like, and then I watched your like reaction, and I was like, oh, and I was like, is that because like anti, like, is it like the reaction about it? And I was like, anti-con, is that like something that's like against like cons, and that's why it's like a big deal? So I watched this whole interview thinking, not the whole interview, but the part of the interview thinking that you went to something called anti-con. And then I couldn't figure out what anti-con was, and I was like, let me go back and rewatch that. And then I went back and I rewatched it, but then a lot of the, because I'm not super familiar, a lot of like your roles and like your work, I couldn't figure out how to spell them. So so then I started watching it with the captions on, so that way I could spell them. And then that's when it came up, Hentai-Con, and I was like, oh, that makes more sense.
Now I understand the reaction.
Okay, so sounds like Philippe, we are transitioning over to wholesome Disney bracket.
Well, that's what I'm
time.
trying to do right now.
Yeah.
I would rather talk
Okay.
House of Mouse than talking about animated porn. Not
House of Hentai.
Not a good look.
Okay. So I will let you lead the way.
All right. So I'm not sure where we left off, Jack, in the bracket.
Are we just getting right in?
Oh, I thought you meant on this podcast because we went off the rails. I thought you meant that.
Yeah. No. I mean, we lost track of this a long time ago.
Yeah.
So Jackie, what we do is Philippe's, he doesn't have anything else to build, but usually when we do these builds, we also have a bracket. We do different brackets. Right now we're doing best Disney ride at night.
Okay.
You are more than welcome to stay on and participate. But if you have some other commitments, then we understand, and we thank you for being on the show. But if, like
She's
I said,
giving you an out to get away from
giving
the
you
porn.
an out, if you want to stick around and get in, the only way you can win, the only way to win is to play.
I mean, there's not any winning involved in this, but
the only way for your specific rides that you want to win
What she
is
said.
for you to stick around.
what she said.
Are you a Disney fan, Jackie?
I am. I've never been to Disneyland.
What?
And lived
You
in
live in
LA?
LA? You've never been to Disneyland?
You've been to Hentai-Con, but not to
only-
Disneyland?
Only theme park I've been out here was Universal, and that was for Fright Night. So like everything was closed anyways.
Those are fun though. Those are
But
definitely fun.
I've been to Disney World.
It's,
I mean,
it's
some of these are at
Yeah.
Disney World.
you can ride them at night.
Yeah, and essentially, we're going over like different. We're just going over different rides, and you're just picking the one that is, in your opinion, the best one to ride at night. And a lot of times, people will give their different reasons. And if you either haven't been on that ride because it's not at Disney World or don't remember, you can just make a decision
Just skip.
based off what we talked.
Yeah, that might be actually even better because then we have to sell it to you, and you have no reference. So
That's true.
So really quick, just to go over, to do a recap. So there's two sides of the bracket. We did the left side of the bracket. That one,
strong side,
the what?
Strong side.
The
left
strong
side,
Yeah. Left side.
strong side,
Left side.
strong side. All
I
right,
didn't
that's
play football.
enough. Remember the Titans. Oh, you're gonna remember the Titans.
No,
I was filming at my high school.
That's
Oh, no
why
way.
Was it?
Oh, cool.
That's dope.
That's why I knew it was football.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
Me and Ray played football at one point in our lives. So
And the hell out
anyway,
of Madden.
so we did the left side of the bracket, and that one ultimately, the one that came down to was Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, formerly the Twilight Tower of Terror.
So fun at night.
So now we're doing the right side of the bracket, and then whatever one comes down, whatever one is the what am I trying to say?
The
Whatever
winner.
one it comes, I don't know. Whatever one wins the right side will go up against Guardians of the Galaxy for the ultimate Disneyland ride at night.
Gotcha.
Okay, so because I don't need the boss James yelling at me or writing me up or docking my pay,
now make sure you do the recap of the
I
recap
have
while
to
recapping
recap
the recap.
of the recap of the recap.
Yeah.
Um,
If you don't recap the recap while recapping the recap, then you summon James.
you don't recap. Okay, so the right side of the bracket consisted of Pirates of the Caribbean versus Roger
Robert the
Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. Pirates of the Caribbean won that one. Matterhorn versus Disneyland Railroad. The Matterhorn won that one. Indiana Jones versus Autotopia. Indiana Jones won that one. Star Wars versus the Finding Nemo Submarine Voyage. Star Tours. I said Star Wars, but Star Tours won that one. Haunted Mansion versus Astro Orbiter. Haunted Mansion won that one. And then our honorable mention, we kind of skipped over some and did, because we had Mary Gibbs on the show who voiced Boo from Monsters on the show, and
she called me Kitty while I was dressed as we met her at a con, and I was dressed as Deadpool cosplaying as Sully.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, right?
It was a thing. It was a whole thing.
Yeah.
Check out our Instagram.
Yeah,
and see pictures of it, right?
The visual's a lot better.
But there is a video they recorded it of me approaching her, acting like, I mean, I'm very in character while I'm doing that stuff. So I'm like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and you just hear her in the background, Kitty, and I just drop to the ground crying.
so we had It's a Small World versus Monsters Inc. And I believe Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. did win that one. I forgot to highlight it when I posted it. Cam got me on that. Cam's gonna write me up. So what we have left to get down to what we have to get through is gonna be so Soarin', I guess it's Soarin' Over the World now, versus the Mad Tea Party.
But they have both of those at Disney World, so.
Yeah. So
Ray, you would know. Ray is our resident Disney expert.
I'm going to Disney World, Walt Disney World in October when we go to New Orleans for a football game. It's going to be a long trip.
I was gonna say that's a little far away.
Yeah. We're gonna fly to Orlando first. Go spend 5 days there between there and Universal. Then we're gonna fly from there to New Orleans to watch a football game.
Okay, cool.
are the Raiders playing?
Sports type.
Yeah, probably. It's the only reason he would go.
Oh.
Oh yeah, Raider game, of course.
Are you a Black Hole member?
Oh, I am.
He is a member of
Black Hole.
Oh shoot. All right, so we have Soarin' Over the World versus Mad Tea Party. So my 2 cents on it, I was going to say obviously, but Mad Tea Party, obviously more superior at night. It's got the tea lanterns and stuff up. So like I have like extreme like motion sickness. So like the rule is if we go on the tea cups, nobody's spinning anything. And yeah, so
always eat before the teacups. Always.
My aunt and my mom, and when they were like kids, I mean, like back in the 60s, when they had like the ABC tickets, they went and somebody puked all over my aunt on the teacups.
Oof.
See, now like I'm like the opposite for like the Mad Tea Party. I have to spin it as fast as humanly possible.
When I was younger, I could do that.
Yeah, same.
Once I hit like 20, I can't do it anymore.
I have no issues with like spinning and anything like that.
Well,
Yeah.
then you ride it by yourself.
I mean, I also used to jump out of airplanes, so I mean,
That's different.
Yeah, I can't. I don't like spit, but Soarin' again is one of those. Are you familiar with the Soaring ride? Okay. It's one of those that like you go on it in the middle of the day to get out of the heat. So like,
Yeah.
it's not even a contender for me.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Squints. What is your vote?
Mad Tea Party.
What?
He's at Mad Tea Party.
Okay, Mad Tea Party. And I know Squints has a motion thing too. Ray, what's your vote?
I'd have to go with Mad Tea Party because with soaring over the world or California, if you're not sitting in like the right, like in the center, everything looks like all like distorted. Like so when you sit like on the edges, it looks kind of weird and like it just kind of tilts. So it takes me out of the whole thing. The one thing I will say about the soaring rides is that when the stuff that sprays the scents as you go over certain things, that's freaking cool and that's hard to replace. But all that said, with the tea lights and all that stuff, yeah, for sure, Mad Tea Party.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also Mad Tea Party on this one.
All right.
And yeah, Cam, it looks like when we go to Disneyland together, you're definitely going to be in the teacup with me.
Is Alexa yelling at?
Alexa's always yelling at us. Just let her.
And Jackie, what is your vote for?
I guess if we're talking about nighttime superiority, I will go with Mad Tea Party.
Okay.
Just because. But yeah, no, I'm not spinning the cup.
You can sit by me, friend.
Great.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and call that one with hearing none, seeing none. Mad Tea Party won that one.
Julie in the chat also voted for Tea Party.
Twice.
Oh, Julie doesn't count.
Julie's her mother.
Julie's my mom. Just
So her
kidding.
vote
I
counts
got
twice.
I got her vote. Let's see. Okay, next up we have so I have a little bit of a funny, it's not really a funny story. So next up we have Radiator Springs Racers versus Dumbo. And that is a hard head-to-head. However, it was funny when you remember, Ray, you are probably maybe the most familiar, but you remember when the Radiator Springs Racers first came out, how it was
Yes,
like
I do.
you had to like get there like 6 o'clock in the morning, like, and even then like you could be like you could be there as early as you can and you would get like the 7 o'clock in the night, like
When you had the fast passes, yep.
yeah. Well, when I was going, like everybody was like, "Oh, you have to go on the Cars ride. You have to get," like everybody was giving me pointers on how to get fast passes.
Single
And then
rider,
I
always
got
single
there-
rider.
I got there and I didn't even know the freaking name of the ride because it's not called the Cars ride.
No,
And I was like, "Well, where's the?" I'm like looking for it because I had no idea where it was at because I hadn't been there in a while. And everybody's like, "Oh no, you have to go on the Cars ride." I'm like, "It's not called the Cars ride. It's called Radiator Springs Racers." And you guys almost set me up to fail.
I want a fast pass for the Cars ride, please. And they send you to Autopia.
I know, right?
I wanted the big people car. You want the
Cars
little
with
people
eyes.
car?
That just as a pro tip, if you go to Disneyland, just do the single rider. 9 times out of 10, you guys, if you're not in the same car, you're in a competing car, which makes it almost more fun. So
Yeah.
Yep.
I like to do the single rider line for Splash Mountain, but
for sure.
Jackie, have you been on Radiator Springs?
I do know the Dumbo ride because they have that one in Disney World. But
as a reference, I guess the Radiator Springs Racers is kind of similar to Test Track at Epcot, if that helps out at all. As far as the ride type and what it does.
One.
Yeah. So it's the same kind of ride type, same kind of like speed and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's just Cars themed.
It's Cars themed, super Cars themed, like down to rock formations, and it's
Everything.
pretty dope.
you feel like you're in the movie.
You really do. The music playing, like you go up over the ridge and everything like that. So it's pretty cool.
And it's just like Test Track, you're actually racing against the other side. So
That's so. I love that one. When that
That one was
first
fun.
came out, we had some crazy field trip, and we went on that thing like 6 times in a row. It was amazing.
it's a fun ride for sure.
So my vote is racers at night.
Yeah, I would go
because
racers.
there is a part that is inside, but there is like this, like if there's this like part where a lot of it is outside, and you feel like you're just like cruising like through the mountains, and then you get to this part where you're like where you race you race the person next to you, and it gets like people get real pumped about it.
Do they have any control over the race at all?
No.
Over who wins?
No.
Okay.
But it's like it's a thrill, that's for sure.
And there's a picture on the right.
Yeah.
I don't. Okay, I did.
The photo, yeah.
We did the photo pass thing.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun, and there's like almost a romance to it, like of just the ride in general. Just because the way that they like set up the environment and everything like that, it's really fun.
Yeah, Cars Land is super immersive. It's really cool.
Oh,
Like, neon lights and the whole. It's really cool.
And it's got like the Cozy Cone, Flo's Cafe, the fire department.
Like all the stuff you see in the movie,
Yeah.
you get to experience in
Except
real
for the
life.
planes thing. Thank
Yeah.
goodness.
Oh, I mean, do we count planes?
James has another question in the chat, and I will allow it.
Yeah.
He was wondering if have you ever worked with Disney? And who's a character you'd love to voice?
I have one show on Disney XD. I was in Beyblade Burst.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's the only one that I worked with Disney so far. I would love to voice anything in Disney, but I kind of want to be a princess. So gonna be a
Specific princess?
My favorite was always Ariel. I loved her music the best.
I'm kind of interested in hearing what your best rendition of Ariel would be. Not a version of Ariel like from the movie, but like what would be your take on Ariel?
Oh gosh,
This may make it back to Disney.
no.
Disney totally watches our show.
Yeah.
Hence,
Yes, absolutely.
hence when I do dirty
Mickey's actually in the room.
No,
All right,
actually,
give me
one
your
of my
best one. I need your best shot.
now I'm nervous. Actually, one of my favorite like Disney rendition like actors was Amy Adams in Enchanted, and I think her princess voice was so spot on because it's just full of light and everything's covered in rainbows, and that's like that would be like my favorite princess voice is just over the top.
Yeah.
Like,
How much coffee for that?
huh?
How much coffee for that one?
I need your best.
No.
I need your best.
I'll take that one.
You're cast. You get to
Yeah, I
be.
know, right?
Alright.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me just.
Well, James keeps coming at it with the questions.
James is like, forget the bracket. I want to ask all the
Mhm.
questions.
No,
Let's just keep them on till 10 p.m. It's
So
fine.
I'm gonna, I'll allow this one. In addition to the good, so I guess what am I trying to say? Sorry, I'm really
So
bad at
who's
this.
a
Juxtaposition
villain
to
that
the
you would like to
princess,
voice?
yeah.
Like who's a villain that you could interpret? Like if you wanted to, because we all know villains are way more fun.
Yes.
What's a happy villain?
Well, see, my favorite villains to play are the insane ones.
Yeah,
So
happy
I guess
villains.
they're
Yeah.
kind of happy.
Yeah, for sure.
Like those guys.
They're definitely happy in their own way. Like they find their joy in murder.
Cruella.
Cruella for sure. Ursula.
God, yes. If we're talking classic Disney villains, Ursula or Maleficent.
Maleficent for sure. I can see that. Yeah.
But if we're talking like more modern, I don't know if you guys watch anime, but Future Diary, the main character in that is a real fun, crazy chick. But yeah.
I'm sold. You had me at fun crazy chick.
We'll have to add that to the poll, the anime poll.
I know.
Yeah.
Darren, he's commenting on what he noticed from my Deadpool cosplay over the weekend. He said, You sound like Ryan Reynolds when you're in cosplay as Deadpool at that Powerhouse. That's amazing, man. That's all by design. It really is. I really do kind of channel Ryan Reynolds and like that kind of like sarcastic humor. I walk around cons and I just I do Deadpool cosplaying as other things.
Mhm.
Default is cosplaying as a unicorn, and that's what I did over the weekend, right? And I walk around with a Deadpool costume within a unicorn costume, and I just walk around and go, I'm a mercenary for hire. Does anybody need anyone killed? Mercenary for hire. And then I came up with a new one over the weekend. I was like, has anybody seen Logan? He's about 3'2". Devil hair. He's about 3'2", devil hair. You know, really angry, spike like he's spikes in his hand, stabby. Has anybody seen Logan? Just walking around doing things like that, and then of course I'll get stopped every now and then. Like, I have to take a picture with you. Like, oh yeah, that's fine. Let's go. We can do that. We can do this. And I do like a classic like anime pose, I guess.
Okay.
Hand over the mouth and the 2 fingers.
Very, very classic anime for sure.
So I almost every picture, if you find me as that version of Deadpool and I'm taking pictures with people, it's that.
Okay, we'll keep that pose and let's get back to the bracket. Okay, so if Smoke 'em if you got 'em, Squints, what's your vote for? Racers or Dumbo?
Racers.
Racers. All right. Jackie, what's
Racers.
Racers? All right, running with the pack. Ray.
Racers, because it's at California Adventure and I can grab a beer while I'm there.
Okay.
Try you can drink there.
It's efficient. All right.
Check some more boxes.
I am going to go ahead and say hearing none, seeing none. I'm going to go ahead and call that one with Racers. I think we are down. Oh, no, that's okay. We're down to the final. The final 4?
Final round.
Is it the final 4?
Round 2. Fight.
Why do I have more than 4? Oh, no, it's not. Okay, it's not the final. No, wait, it is. What did I do? I screwed. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry. It's not the final 4. Sorry.
So confused right now. I don't know what's happening.
I know. No.
So we're in the final 17.
What's happening right now, guys?
Rick.
Oh, geez, Rick.
I was confused.
I vote Racers. I vote Racers.
Okay. So it's not the. Okay, we're going on to the next round to narrow it down to the final 4. That's what it is. Okay. So these, oh my God, this is going to be so difficult. This first one's already difficult. So we have the Pirates of the Caribbean versus the Matterhorn. Those are like 2 of like my top 2 favorite rides at night, like right off the bat. And if it's confusing why an inside ride would be one of my favorite rides at night, reason why I like Pirates of the Caribbean at night is because it's you get on the ride and it's pretty much at night and in the dark and inside. But when you come off of the ride, I almost feel like you're like continuing that like experience, and so that's why it helps for it to be at night. But what do you?
And Jack, since you're not a Disneyland person, Jackie, just so you know, for a little form of reference, their Matterhorn is going to be the best ride for your ride if you're in need of a chiropractic adjustment, but you don't want to go see the chiropractor. That's the one you ride.
True.
Oh, is it like one of those like wooden roller coasters or something?
No, it's a tubular, but it jolts you left and right, and
I don't like
and you might get
like
wet.
that.
And you might get wet.
A little bit. You kind of like, it's not like a splash mountain though. You get like a little bit of a spritz.
Okay.
But there's a Yeti.
There is a Yeti that never works.
Several Yetis.
But, yeah, the Yetis don't work, but I mean, there's that.
Oh, fun fact! And the original Yeti that was in it is actually in the Guardians of the Galaxy queue. You can actually see. I think his name is Harold, in certain parts of the line.
All right, what are your guys' votes? Oh, Cam, Pirates, Justice for Johnny. All right.
I'm going Pirates because of the aforementioned chiropractic adjustment. Although I do enjoy Matterhorn, and I like hearing a yodel while I'm riding a ride. Pirates of the
As we all
Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean, you can sneak like a real quick little nap, and then the count-ins they'll promptly wake you up.
True.
So Pirates for sure.
especially when Captain Barbosa starts doing that intro in in the big main room now.
Oh yeah. And
When
bonus,
they're attacking the Spanish fort.
I've always been a fan of how they made that fire effect in the windows, and I always thought it was actual fire, and didn't realize it was like fabric just being blown with a fan and a yellow light. I thought it was always really cool.
Yep.
Let's see. Squints, what's your vote?
I'm gonna rebel and go Matterhorn.
What?
Matterhorn was actually one of the first Disney rides I ever went on
Okay.
as a kid.
Did you go on it at night?
I did, and I loved it up until I saw the Yeti. I think I was like 5 or 6.
It's like
The red eyes.
Little Squint saw the Yeti and he mixed his pants. So
Yeah.
Do they have both of those rides at Disney World?
Not that I know of. I definitely don't have the Matterhorn.
Matterhorn's not a.
No, they're close. They have just
We have
was
the
Expedition Everest.
Pirates, but I don't know if it's the same.
They're close. They're
thing.
cose.
Okay, I feel like it would kind of be similar. So I'm gonna go Pirates, just because I don't feel like having to see a chiropractor.
the Matterhorn was what they built out of the landfill that they when they dug stuff out of the.
That's what that smell
The
is.
Tom Sawyer's. It was
That was Tom Sawyer?
Yeah, that and the maybe it wasn't Tom Sawyer, but it might have been Jungle Cruise. But I think it was Tom when they dug
No,
out.
it was Tom Sawyer.
It was Tom Sawyer. Okay.
Mhm.
Of course, that was the first thing that I said, so I should have just went with that.
Go with your intuition, Jack.
But Matterhorn is cool because it's it looks like a mountain, and you go down in like these bobsleds, almost like you would go down a mountain, and it's on like a track, and you go like you're slowly going down this mountain. But there are parts where like you pop out and you can like see like everything like over Disneyland. So my vote is actually Matterhorn.
And yodeling.
And yodeling. I remember I went on that ride with my nephew Eric, and my nephew Eric, he's 20, he'll be 23 this summer. To this day, has the cutest laugh that I will ever hear in my entire life. And he's like got a deep voice, and he's like a grown man now, and he still has the cutest voice, or not voice, but cutest laugh that I've ever heard. And I went on that with him, and that's like one of my favorite memories is like him being a little kid and just like laughing through that entire ride. He had no fear. All right. So let's see. Okay. What do we have in the? Okay.
Got a vote for Pirates in chat, and I think that's it.
James.
James said Pirates because he doesn't fit in the Matterhorn.
All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that, like, hearing no other, seeing no other, that Pirates is gonna win. Pirates. Wait, did Pirates really win that? Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Pirates won that.
Yep.
All right. Next up, we have Indiana Jones versus Star Tours.
Getting ready for Indiana Jones.
Star Tours.
Star Tours, yeah.
Which both have Harrison Ford.
Yes. I was gonna say Indiana Jones, and they're gonna be
Isn't he-
revamping that ride pretty soon because they're doing Indiana Jones and the Wheelchair of Death because he's old.
That's not nice. Not nice.
I've made the joke multiple times. Like, so is the main scene in this movie going to be him rolling his wheelchair and then trying to whip himself over a canyon?
I like to see that his eyes has filled him so that he grabbed a snake instead of his whip.
It's a snake. That's a snake.
Jackie, can you from anime, is there any ride that you would like to see created?
Oh,
What Sailor Moon ride would you like?
Yeah.
I would love, and I feel like there is a Ghibli place in Japan. I would love to see Lapida recreated as a ride because I always thought that movie was absolutely gorgeous, and I would love to be able to ride through that world.
Nice.
I think they also now have like a Demon Slayer world or something.
Is there a
Jeez.
Demon Slayer world
And
already?
they were talking about it, and they're talking about Mario World out here.
Yeah, at Universal they're
Mario
going to
World
get the
exists in Japan. I know
Mhm.
that.
Yes.
Universal is getting in here in LA too.
Here.
All I want to do is just drive go-karts and throw turtle shells at people. That's all I
Yeah, right.
all I want.
With the
Why do you need a theme park for that?
Yeah, I
No,
know.
Right.
I mean just the reason the theme park is a thing there is because then I can do it. I can just pay for it and not have to like go and collect the things myself.
My dad.
I'm going to just throw a turtle at you.
He used to
He's,
throw
You know,
turtle
I
shells at
bet you
people?
could buy turtle shells on Amazon.
Your dad used to drive go-karts and throw lemons at
he
people?
used to drive his motorcycle and throw lemons at people.
You're
He was
wow.
menace.
My parents.
He's a
were
menace! Spider-Man's a menace!
Your parents did what, Jackie?
What?
My parents, it was oranges.
Oh, they rode motorcycles
No,
through
so-
oranges?
Florida, so
Florida.
Yeah, makes sense.
Would
And it
your
makes
ride
juice.
be like a roller coaster ride, a water ride, virtual reality?
I like roller coasters.
oh that's
Not a fan of getting wet on the rides?
No, I like it. I just like roller coasters more.
Hmm.
I like the.
Or-
Extreme
Okay, loops or no loops?
I like loops.
Okay.
I
Darren
just don't
said,
need a ride that continuously goes in a circle. Like that's not.
like,
like teacups. Darren said, have you ever done a male voice?
Yeah, I've done a few male voices. I'm trying to think of like a more well-known because there was Birthday Wonderland where I played people. I'm trying to. It's all been like really tiny roles that I can't. Yeah, that I wouldn't. That don't even have names. I usually play like background boys.
Mm.
Which sounds like a boy band.
Background voice is a boy band.
Yes.
I'm
Would
in.
that be a K-pop band or
As long as I don't have to do any dancing, I'm in.
Darren wants to know if you can do Jack Sparrow.
can I do I've got a really bad Jack Sparrow, which you know in the voiceover world is more like a bad version of a character is just a new character.
Yeah.
I can do a really bad Jack Sparrow, but not anything.
But not as Mickey.
Well, not as Mickey. No, that's just weird.
Jack Sparrow as Mickey.
Okay, hold on. So I got to think.
No,
How about just Mickey drinking rum? I'll set up for that.
I mean,
Yeah,
I can do
there
Mickey
we go.
drinking rum all day, but I mean, like the whole thing is okay. So you would have to throw in those like weird nuances and
You're gonna
do a
fall on
British
your chair.
accent with Mickey Mouse. So, why is the rum gone?
I mean, that's pretty good on your first shot, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing about this. I just watch a lot of stuff.
What does he say? He goes, "You remember this as the day that you almost caught Mickey Sparrow."
That's pretty good. All right, so
Disney.
okay, we have Indiana Jones versus Star Tours. Philippe, what's your pick?
That is a difficult one
Mm-hmm.
because they're both indoor rides.
Yeah.
I think Indiana Jones is like a dinosaur, by the way, Jackie, for like ride type, the way it runs.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I am probably gonna go at night. You know, I have more memories with Indiana Jones at night. So I'm probably gonna go Indiana Jones.
All right. And Jackie, what's your?
I don't really know either one of them.
Oh, Star Tours is a simulator.
Virtual
it's a
reality.
simulator. Yeah, it's a simulator Star Wars ride where you're basically on a shuttle and it takes you from a starport to one of the other planets in the Star Wars universe.
Jackie, we really need to get you to Disneyland.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go Indiana Jones then.
Indiana Jones.
Yeah, we eventually are going to plan a distance nerding Disney trip. We will let you know because we need to get you on these rides.
And then we'll redo the brackets again. That you
Well,
can you can have your
Yeah, exactly.
Alec and Bridget talked about wanting to go too.
That's right.
Yeah.
Alec and Bridget are friends of ours in the San Diego area, but they
No, not in the San Diego area.
yeah, they're in the San Diego area.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they're in the central. They're not in the
They're
Central
in,
Valley.
they're in Tulare.
Oh, why did I think that was? Okay, sorry.
But these are the guys that own the bikes from Sons of Anarchy.
If you're familiar with Sons of Anarchy.
I'm gonna go with Star Tours.
Okay.
Because I've experienced Indiana Jones breaking down far too many times.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I
It's one of those
hate
where
rides like that.
Yeah, I've sat under Indiana Jones as he hung from a rope above me for about 25 minutes, and then we got walked off of the ride, which was fun because it was like it was like down a hill, so you kind of had to watch your step. So I've been it's broken down too many times for me. And Star Tours, it's one of those things where you can it's never the same ride, so it'll go to a different planet, and there'll be a different interaction with one of the villains. Like sometimes you get Darth Vader, sometimes you don't. So
Except there's over 1,000 combinations.
yeah,
So,
So it's a different experience every time.
So Star Tours has been at Disneyland since like what, the 80s?
Yeah.
Maybe even the 70s. But Star Tours has been before Disney owned it. Star Tours has been at Disneyland. And there's like a whole like story and stuff behind it that I'm not really familiar with, nor do I want to get into. But
it's super fun though. I mean, for as old as it is, I think it's mid 80s. It's still they made it unique with the way they changed stuff around.
But for like years, like up until the special edition until some special edition Star Wars came out, it was only one like scenario. Like there weren't all these different scenarios.
So this is new.
One scenario.
I think they redid it in 2012 because I have a shirt from when it relaunched.
Yeah.
I think it was 2012.
And they had like a special like a special version of it for some like release or something.
Mm-hmm.
And,
they changed it when the sequel trilogy came out. They started adding some of the stuff from the sequel trilogy, some planets from that.
And then it did really well. And so now they have all these different versions, and you never know what like version you're gonna get. But I think
it's like super interactive now too, because like they'll stop it like halfway through and be like, "We're looking for a spy," and then they'll get like a random person in the crowd and be like, "That's our spy. We have to protect him."
Yeah. Okay, so we have one for Star Tours.
One for Star Tours.
That's me.
Squints, what's your vote?
Well, I'm torn between the two, but I might have to do Star Tours.
Okay.
Because of a certain thing that happened last night.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I didn't do it.
Row.
Huh?
Row.
So
did you go off-roading or something?
No, I was on another hung out on another live stream podcast with Kyber Cave.
Oh yeah.
And I actually won a saber.
Sweet.
Okay.
Last
Cool.
night, so.
Sabers. You want to grab me my saber?
Sure.
Whoa, this is a family show. Wait a minute.
It's behind the table there.
custom saber.
Yeah. That's other side.
Oh, did you finally get it?
He finally gave me a saber.
Hey, grab my saber for me, will you?
Yeah, babe, grab my saber.
I tried to.
Great, babe, grab my saber.
Okay.
There.
Ooh.
I like the way you leaned back while you did that. That was very subtle.
It's a power move.
Ooh. Very. And it's nice.
And bonus, you can actually hurt someone with it.
Wait, don't do that.
You're giving her anxiety.
Right.
Checks that. So when it comes up to turn it off.
The resistance is dead. The war is over.
It's my husband. Adam.
I love it.
So Jackie has said that.
It's me and Phoenix.
Yeah, she has said that her hall pass is Adam Driver. I'm like, I don't know about that one. He has giant ears and a giant nose.
Hey, let
He
her
must
have what
have
she
large
wants.
features.
He does not seem like that much. He's not an attractive guy to me.
Phoenix
He's
and I will
not.
get you.
I understand the appeal to
She said begrudgingly.
She's on our side. She's on our side. He's not that attractive.
Anyway,
She's like it's like in the right light. It was like the whole. I've heard it
That's
said
the
before, so
problem
it's not
is
me.
if he has to be in the right light, he's not that cute.
okay.
like he's not top of the
cute.
line for me, but like I guess in a dorky, edgy.
Oh, Cam.
Because it's funny, like how many
That's
people have
between
said, well, he's a
Dumbo?
Marine. Like, okay, what that helps him?
I feel like no one thought he was attractive until he played Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Because he was in Girls for the longest time.
Yeah.
No one cared.
I
True.
might
But once he was
I
the
would-
bad boy, then everyone's like, oh,
I like
he
those
was in-
ears.
What was it? What was he? He was in a mini series. Was
It's like, oh my God, I've never been attracted to Dumbo more.
He was in he was in some sort of like mini series, I think called Love. And I loved him. I loved him then.
Do you love the miniseries or you loved him?
I loved him.
But you didn't love the miniseries.
All right, there'll be time for that later.
Anyways, let's move on to the next part of the bracket here.
Let's see.
The next hall pass.
Philippe, what's your vote? Thank
Yeah,
you.
Philippe.
Come on, don't take all day.
Is it?
No, because
His camera's
like
frozen.
at night.
Well,
the whole thing
share
is
your
that
thought
like
process then.
okay, so I'm trying to think of like what is the better ride at night. Like, okay, so I have a lot more like night experiences with Indiana Jones, but Star Tours is one of my favorite rides. So it's almost like
You can go on it during the day.
yeah, well, you can go on both of those during the day. Both
Okay.
of those
Do
are
what you want, man.
yeah. I mean, both. Here's
Do
the
whatever
thing:
you
is
want
that
as
like
long as you like.
Indiana Jones is still like at night when you're inside because the idea is that it's taking place at night, anyways.
Good grief, James.
You know,
So while Philippe is thinking about that, I have a question before we get to James' question. I see you have a tattoo.
Oh yeah, it's the Sailor Moon.
Oh, that's cool.
Is that the only one you've got?
I am talking with my brother. We want to get one together. And
Sailor Moon?
no, we're discussing either Kingdom Hearts or Elden Ring, or maybe a combination of the two.
ooh,
If you go
Interesting.
the Kingdom Hearts route and you want to come to Northern California, there's a pretty what's the Disney artist from Vacaville?
oh, forgetting.
What's his name?
Did we follow him on anything?
Yeah.
We follow him on Instagram.
We can just send it and it'd just be like
He specializes in like Disney.
in Disney, yeah.
and
How have you not told me about this?
yeah,
I just remembered it. We were talking about him last week, and so when I heard
because
that,
Mary. What's funny is Mary Gibbs.
oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, she got her like
Yeah,
she
she
got
got
a
tattoo done.
tattoo. Yeah, she got a tattoo from him specifically. That was like a sketch that her dad did. Her dad was one of the storyboard artists on Monsters Inc. So one of the sketches that he did of her character, she has it tattooed on her now.
Nice.
And that's what he does is like, you know, he specializes in like Disney tattoos. We met him at LA Comic-Con.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, like
okay.
separately. Like we met him separately because he followed us on Instagram.
Okay,
I'm gonna have to get the information from you guys because
we can send you the info just so you have some. I don't know.
I already know the
I
Disney
like to be
tattoo I want.
helpful, unfortunately.
By the way,
Um,
my and I've maybe said this once in the past, but like, you know, we talked
I
about
love you
Texas
too.
Hall Pass. My Hall Pass is Aubrey Plaza. So
Oh yeah.
That one I get. She's
Aubrey Plaza is fucking gorgeous, but she's also
Hilarious.
super weird. But the
Oh
reason
yeah, I
thought that,
love her.
right? She had to look her up. She's like, wait, who
I
is
was
she?
like,
Oh,
wait, who is this? Oh, Encanto.
yeah, Matthew Robinson. Okay, there we go. But no,
That's the tattoo
so-
artist.
That's
Yeah.
tattoo artist.
Yeah.
But so
what's your vote? Indiana Jones is Star Tours.
Yeah, quit stalling,
Talking
dude.
about that in lieu
Indiana
of you
Jones at
thinking.
night, because it's at night.
Indiana
It's at
Jones,
night. As
okay.
much as I don't want to go against Star Tours, but I mean, just at night, I feel like it's more of an experience at night. No, what I was gonna say was
What's your tattoos? 89.
what was it? Right here. So James was asking, who's a weird celebrity crush that you have?
A
You're gonna say
weird
something, you can
celebrity
tell.
crush?
Or a celebrity that's weird that you have a crush on. I mean, take your pick.
I mean, Ryan Reynolds all day. That's basically it.
That's not a weird one. He's
No,
an
but that
attractive
he's-
guy.
But that he is weird.
Yeah.
Right.
There was. Hold on, I'm trying to think of one that like people know.
Big ears are
Because-
optional.
Huh?
Just the big ears are optional. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
No, because I really like Ian Somerhalder from Vampire Diaries,
Ooh.
but he's not a weird one.
Like, who's your weird celebrity crush?
I
What was Newman?
I would. Oh my gosh,
That's a weird.
Randy
Newman from Seinfeld.
Seinfeld.
Oh,
Because I watch a lot of.
Newman.
I've been watching a lot of Seinfeld lately.
That would be a weird celebrity crush right there.
I used to be oddly attracted to a news anchor.
Hmm.
It's from the Bay Area. I used to watch the 6 o'clock news just to watch his
Was it
newscast.
Somerville?
I think every guy's has a weird attraction to insert weather lady here.
Yeah, that's pretty much. Insert Mexican weather lady is like.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes.
oh, what's his face? The really dorky one. Oh, I gotta pull up a picture of him.
It's like all of us.
That sounds like all of us are just not celebrities.
Okay, so while Jackie is looking up her bizarre dorky celebrity crush, we have Haunted Mansion going up against Monsters. The Monsters ride is
Is it Jay Burchell?
what?
I'm asking about her celebrity crushes.
Oh. Okay, so guys in the chat, Haunted Mansion versus Monsters while we are looking this up.
I go Haunted Mansion.
They're both very similar rides.
They are.
Yeah.
Okay, Philippe is going Haunted. I'm going Haunted. And I'm guessing Swints, I think that was you that said, yeah, you're going Haunted.
Yes.
I go Haunted because kind of like it's almost like a La Jackie-ism on this one.
Yeah.
The line experience.
Yeah.
I feel like the line experience for Haunted Mansion is a lot better.
Oh, you mean the Pickpockets Haven?
It's,
Where everyone's just like cramped in together
yeah. The best part about Disneyland is standing in line, Ray.
and
Yeah.
smelling things you've probably never smelled before. Some people.
You know, one of the coolest costumes I ever saw was when I was waiting in line at Haunted Mansion. We were at the like the special event, and you know how when you get in the Haunted Mansion, they have the pictures, and one of the pictures is of the girl with the parasol standing on the.
Oh yeah.
There was
I
somebody in
have a
line.
statue of that.
There was somebody in line dressed up like her.
Mhm.
And it was like I'll never forget that. It was like
That's
the cool
cool.
what I like it was I don't not that I would be lying if I said it's like one of the coolest experiences. But it was cool to be standing in line and then this girl like was dressed up like the person in that picture.
I mean, what's cool is like, you know, at Disneyland you can like cosplay as long as you don't cover your face.
Oh. Ray said she said she has James Ponce.
I don't know why I tagged James Ponce. I was just trying to.
Oh.
The question was, have you ever done on-screen acting, Jackie? And I was just remembering that you mentioned that.
A little bit, kind of like early on in my career, kind of like just dabbled in it, but I didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
It was very,
Now that you've
it's
done
very
more
technical. It doesn't really give you an option to like get into character. It's just like, all right, everything's set up and just like go. And it's very, I don't know, it's just very uncomfortable. I just didn't like it.
We got to get you into the MCU so that way you can like be a character, like an actual character.
Mhm.
There you go.
Perfect.
Who hasn't voted yet on the ride?
Quasimodo on the ride?
He
Who
said
hasn't voted yet?
on the ride.
Hasn't
Oh,
voted
Quasi,
yet?
I would like to see Quasimodo on the ride.
I
though,
would like
actually,
to see Quasimodo on these rides. Yes.
I think they're coming out with a live action.
Yeah, they are.
Oh,
Hunchback
really?
of Notre Dame. Yep.
I don't know if Disney's doing one, but I know
there's a Quasimodo.
Broken Lizard is coming out with a movie about
Can't
Quasimodo.
wait for that.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
My
So-
vote's for sure is going to be Haunted Mansion because the Hatbox Ghost takes the cake every time. And the one in Disneyland actually has an elevator. It's not just a stretcher room, but that's actually works as the elevator
What?
to go down to the ride. Yep.
I don't believe that.
Yeah. That's an elevator. down.
There's no way.
There's no way.
uh-huh.
It stretches.
Totally.
It stretches. Quasimodo will not fit on the Matterhorn. Okay, James.
It's because
Thanks for that, James.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead just for time purposes because I think we're like 11 minutes over.
Yeah, 12 minutes over now.
I'm gonna go ahead and close that one with hearing none, seeing none. Should we just wrap that up and then do Mad Tea Party versus Racers next week? I would prefer to do that.
You prefer to do that? Okay, so we can finish the bracket next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Word.
That is fine. So that all being said, because we are a little bit over on time right now, and I'm going to be honest, I lost track of time. We've been having way too much fun. That all being here, Jackie, we really appreciate you coming on the show with us here today.
Thank you for having me. This is so much fun. Thank you for including me in your brackets.
Absolutely, we had a whole bunch of fun here. So I'm going to go through everyone here. Let's talk pluggables here, right? Let's talk some pluggables. Ray, what are your pluggables?
Jeez, you got to warn me before you do that.
Nope, no warning. Do it.
Just Raider Ray, RAYDERRAY, on what's that thing with the bird? Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, probably the same thing. I don't know, but yeah, just find me around posting stupid stuff.
All right, Squints, give me some pluggables, baby.
All right. So I have a podcast coming soon called Cuts and Chaos. It's Cuts and Chaos Pod on Instagram, and don't do Twitter.
Twitter bad.
We will have a Facebook group. But yeah, that is it.
All right, Layaki.
I am Instagram. Like, my Instagram is public. I cleaned it up and did everything that I needed to do. So I guess this is like my official, like, it's Lady Jack Blue. It's exactly how it's spelled, exactly how it sounds, all one word. I tend to post a lot of like emotional things from like my past. I also really like going to like vintage events, and so I'll always post like the vintage events that I go to. I'm really into like history and food. And so I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry. Have you? I know on record. I'm sorry, but have you ever been to Dapper Day since you like doing vintage stuff?
I have not. I would be interested in going.
So fun. Sorry, please continue. I apologize.
So I don't post a lot. I repost a lot of things that I'm like interested in and stuff like that. So if you're into nostalgia, history, food, that kind of a thing, feel free to check me out on there.
Awesome. Jackie, where can people find you? Throw your pluggables out there, any projects or anything like that.
You can find me on Twitter at Jackie Lastra, on Instagram or TikTok at Jackie Lastra VO. I stream 3 times a week on Twitch at Jackie Lastra. Things that you can see right now are Tokyo 24th Ward, Rising the Shield Hero, Dino and Gal, and Pompo the Cinephile. Yes.
There we go.
Pompo
Awesome. And then, of course, Distance Nerding, guys. You can find us all Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, YouTube. if it exists on social media, we're there at Distance Nerding. All right.
Zynga?
GeoCities, Zynga, MySpace. All right. OnlyFans. It's only pictures of birds' feet. So there we go. You can find us anywhere at Distance Nerding. Ladies and gentlemen, we have had a great time. It is now time for the dance party. Grab your toys. Let's do this. Dang it, I did it again. Wrong song. Every time. Every week. I do it every week.
Wait, we're supposed to have toys?
Whatever you want, man. All right. Let's start. Squints.
How about Icy Hot?
Did you say Icy Hot?
I did say Icy Hot, but also
Distance nerding.
look out.
Run away!
Oh, they're good.
Oh, Icy Hot.
He was like, wait, we're still doing this?
It takes a while to figure it out.
It's not a joystick. It's a worm.
It's a joy worm.
Is that a hentai worm? Oh, wait.
It's not.
Am I the only one old enough to remember glowworms?
I am the worst.
No, my
No.
brother had one.
See you next week, guys.